All right, this is a video that was requested by K, the BEO. Everything wrong with Black youth today. Now, this seems like it's going to be touchy, but for sure, I believe that there's nothing in this video that I haven't come to the realization of. But let's run it.
YNs are going wild. POV, YNs are harassing people. Why?
This should be everything wrong with youth today.
YNs are disturbing the peace. YNs are going wild. POV, you're a YN. YNs are taking over. YNs must be stopped. The idea that young black teens are a danger to society is something the internet is trying to get you to believe right now. Even NPC Miles Morales himself turned into a thug.
I should get roses to my bitch. Big chains, big money, big everything. Talking about get your money up, check my pockets a little.
Every day I'm seeing a new viral video about hoodlums that are in every profession disturbing the peace at any moment's notice.
Itching to shoot that bitch, twin. Do not let this security fool your ass, twin.
A YN just means a young N-word, and it just describes black youth who don't care about your life, my life, or even their own.
They're ready to crash out about anything like a goddamn Minecraft creeper
or Datara's final jutsu if you're into anime. To sum it all up, the funny, hilarious meme of the month that the internet decided to make viral is young black teens inhaling forbidden air out of whipped cream cans and throwing their life away over the smallest incidental things. Hilarious, right? You might not have been able to see that, but I just slapped my knee. Now, I think I speak for all average black people when I say I can safely denounce all of these activities. We do not condone any acts or practices performed by these YNs. But I feel like a trend like this...
Yo, in Toronto, we used to say YO. YO was the big saying. YO. But now they're saying YN.
creates a new viral stereotype that categorizes all hood people or even any black people in general
as YNs.
Violence, aggression, and being an overall school threat crash out is not an inherently black trait. There are crash outs who are Hispanic, Asian, etc., but for some reason this trend is about young black people and not young people in general. And when there is already an issue of black people being seen as extra aggressive, violent creatures, trends like this can kind of exacerbate that issue. And it's only a matter of time until a white Karen starts bothering black kids and then hits them with the, oh, just them YNs at it again. But it's weird because this is the stuff that goes viral, but meanwhile, the black kids who are into rock, anime, etc. are called goofy, corny, whitewashed,
and a whole lot more.
Growing up, I vividly remember getting deep fried myself for being into an anime called Beyblade, writing in cursive, or even listening to Logic.
Okay, maybe Logic.
Well, I deserved it. But Let It Rip is top tier peak fiction, bro. Now, I know this phenomenon isn't unique to the black community, and odds are you watching this video might not be black, but probably experience something extremely similar. As we speak, Asians are getting clowned for being extremely cringe. Mexicans get clowned for a goofy haircut, aka the Edgar haircut.
But the joke of blacks in this last month is losing your life, addiction,
the destruction of our youth, and at the same time, the young black people who are trying to stay positive and do positive things and stay out the way are called cringe, corny, and nerdy. Now, I don't want to sound like a pretentious virtue signaler. On the surface, I can see how videos like this could be funny. I've even laughed at the trend myself before. I'm no better than you. That being said, it is never a bad thing to want better for your people or people in general. The first step towards improvement is accountability. Yes, I made that quote up. Save the applause for the end of the video. So given the fact that we can always improve as a society, we will be discussing the problems with black youth today and some potential solutions in order to find out what's really plaguing young black people today. Even though this video is primarily going to be about black youth in general, it encompasses a larger topic of just the youth in general, you know what I'm saying?
So if you're white, Hispanic, Asian, black,
a lot of the stuff that is discussed in this video, you're probably going to be able to attribute to your own people. Now let's begin. Glorification of the wrong things. Now, out of the two biggest problems in today's video, I feel like glorification of the wrong things is the best way to summarize all the subtopics within one large category, you know what I'm saying? For example, things like thought culture, baby mama culture, promiscuity, if that's the right word. I feel like I did not pronounce that right.
I definitely did not pronounce that right.
And all the things like that, which essentially helps promote single parent households. If I put up all the negative statistics for single parent households regarding those kids, it's gonna be some very, very terrible Will Chamberlain numbers. There's also things like substance abuse, which is heavily promoted in American culture in general. Like if you know what whippets are, and while everybody's laughing at them, it is genuinely a serious issue that is plaguing black youth.
That whippet shit looks weird as
like
fuck.
Atlanta. I don't really understand the appeal of inhaling air that makes you sound like goddamn Bane himself, but who am I to judge? I'm judging, bro. I'm judging. I know that you can't force a viral meme, but things go viral based on how you interact with it, and that's kind of how algorithms work. I hear that. Ask yourself, you watching this video, what is actually funny about people losing their lives? It's more of like a damn, that's crazy. You laugh at it maybe for a second, and then you're like, damn. That's actually crazy. That's actually sad. That's actually really sad.
That's actually something that we should try to like do something about, you know?
Because for the people who are genuinely crashing out, regardless of race, there must be some type of mental health deficiency that you're facing that we don't know about.
Mental
It's
health.
also kill your brain cells.
Of all black people to have a black parent who's like borderline abusive, bro. If you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. It's called childhood trauma, my brother. Now shake my hand. And with the childhood trauma or trauma in general, a lot of black people do not get the right proper services or care that they might need to fix their mental health problems. Some of the solutions I quickly thought up: not interacting with certain content because it negatively affects black people as a whole, makes us look worse, and at the very least, make it feel like it's okay and not soft to get mental help. Society in general could have more emphasis on education and two-parent households. I feel like an issue that doesn't get talked about nearly enough is the fact that there's such an emphasis on athletics compared to education. Everything is always surrounded on the sport. You eat, live, breathe, die by the sport you play. You should be playing by elementary or you're not going to make it to the big leagues. But statistically speaking, if we look at the percentages, the amount of people who genuinely go pro is very, very minuscule. There you go. Slim to none at that. What happens after? Most likely those hoop dreams die out. And when a huge chunk of your youth is spent playing a certain sport and you realize you can't make it, there is a huge amount of depression that hits you.
It's like, damn, I'm a failure. What do I do in life? I didn't pay attention in school for real.
What major am I gonna pick? Am I gonna go to college? Am I gonna be a certified HVAC technician? I don't know. It's like a whole new avenue of life is unlocked.
HVAC is a good trade.
Extremely scary. I was exactly the person that I'm describing, but a lot of the people I know, they stopped playing and then they went to the streets because it's like, damn,
I'm not that great in school.
I don't know what to do now.
Now I'm depressed and smoking Russian creamy blunts all day.
So I say that to say an emphasis on education compared to athletics is much more ideal. Obviously,
I was gonna say HVAC makes back. HVAC makes
for the rest of us.
bang.
But at the same time, you should not be neglecting your education
HVAC
while putting your athletics up on a pedestal. Because what happens if those don't pan out? Now, the second biggest problem in the black community, I would describe as self-hate. From a very young age, black people are often taught to hate themselves. That's how things like colorism, texturism, people wear wigs to cover their natural hair. Some people skin bleach. I almost did that myself, actually, when I was younger.
The darker you are, the less desirable. That's the way society is.
And while black people are being taught
bro.
from a young age that being whiter is technically better.
Yo, that's not true. These days more than ever, bro, there's a demand for black men with the ladies.
Other black people are being told that they're whitewashed and they're not really a real black.
Yeah, but I can relate to this because it came to a certain point where I realized that I wanted to expand. I wanted to try new things. And I was doing everything. I was reading more. I was trying different things. I was hanging out with other people. The amount of times I've been called like, oh, like acting white, sounding white activity, bro. It was uncanny. It's like, like this is so crazy. Then you start to realize that I don't know, maybe some people are narrow-minded or just in a bubble or something. I don't know. It was mad weird still, but
person.
and
Speaking
it's still like that up to this day, if you ask me.
Traditional English, having white friends, liking anime, gaming, wearing glasses get you called whitewashed. See, the problem with calling these people whitewashed is that black community sees them as whitewashed. Meanwhile, everybody who's not black sees them as black. You know what I'm saying? So who do you belong to, bro? The goddamn white people who are like, oh, you're one of the good blacks. You're one of the good black people. You're one of us. You can genuinely tell when someone is whitewashed when they think they're better than people who are from the hood because they're smarter. You can tell when somebody's on that Uncle Ruckus type of timing. Brief intermission. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Turn on post notifications. According to YouTube statistics, about 80% or more of you are actually still unsubscribed. Now hear me out when I say this because sometimes you can't blame certain black people for being whitewashed. You're taught that speaking in Ebonics is low-key ghetto. Your hair that naturally grows out of your head is extremely unprofessional.
Even black names like Daquan and stuff are seen as extremely unprofessional.
Which is why you get so many black people who are like James Brown Smith. Black parents are trying to make sure that their kids have a job, bro. I think it's better to take self-hating black people and try to teach them why certain things are wrong and certain behavior.
The job thing is true though. The job thing is true. And I look, you seen that coming up throughout high school and after. Like, if you have a serious, like, if you have a more so, like, blacker name, bro, like, when they look at that on paper, they're like, a nigga. You feel me? I think that even worked for me, too, because my name's Dominic, right? So whenever they see that on paper, they're like, they're probably thinking some Italian dudes coming through. You feel me? A big black nigga such as myself pop up in the cut. They're like, you're Dominic? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, right this way.
Are actually false. Obviously, if those people
but we seen that because there's a story with McDonald's when we were all trying to get our job at McDonald's and it was kind of weird. But yeah,
they can't be helped. You know what I'm saying? If a person says something kind of anti-black, you know,
and
you correct them and be like, yo,
but
because some people just don't know. Now, some solutions to the problem would include.
And I never realized it until I got to a later point in life.
emphasis and praise towards maybe black creators or just black people in general who break that stereotype of nerdy being bad. RDC, Dante, even Megan Thee Stallion or Duke Dennis, creators I mentioned make being a nerd cool, bro. I will say it's definitely a lot better than it has been. Some people do get mad and it's like, oh, you weren't there when we were getting bullied in class. But like, if you're a real anime head or a real nerd, you want better for the community anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Why would you want those people to suffer the same way we did? What makes a nerd corny and a thug not corny? What does corny even mean? In conclusion, I feel like the glorification of the wrong things and self-hate culture is a very big thing that plagues black youth today. But those are just my thoughts. I've already made different videos about problems in the black community, and there's lots of videos about problems in general, but rarely videos about solutions. So I feel like I would offer, you know, a couple different solutions that came in my mind. But let me know down below in the comments what you think would help, or if you think that these issues aren't even real issues and I'm just like doing too much, because if they are, let me know, bro. Maybe I'm doing the most. With that being said, make sure you like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you wanted to see next. But with that being said, it's LuvHilal. I love you, and I'm out.
It's a solid video. That was a solid video, my friends. My friends. That was a solid video.